love the flavors of that kurma. The puri serves as a trusty medium to convey that kurma to your mouth. Palav. Idu bari bread butter ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಫ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಡೀಪ್ ಫ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಟನ್ ಪೀಸ್ ತರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ.
I like what Mr Shetty is saying. I said bread ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಸೆ ಅದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಸಾಲೆ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಟನ್ ಪೀಸ್ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Time to say hello to the vade. This is a vade that feels crisp and crunchy the moment you hold it in your hands. You can hear the gentle crackle of that vade as you break into it. Hi folks, this is Kripalamana Gourmet on the Road and you're watching Food Lovers TV. We're in Hubli to explore some food. And one of the places that we've told is a popular destination for breakfast here is an eatery that goes back to the 50s and is called Gurudatta Bhavan. And that's where we are headed this morning to savor some Hubli breakfast at Gurudatta Bhavan. Well, going by the number of cars that are parked here, it certainly seems to be a popular breakfast option. And like I always say, go where the locals go. So if you find the locals assembled somewhere in numbers, that means there is something interesting about the place. And as a tourist, as a visitor, it's up to you to seek that out. I can see people tucking into some puri kurma or puri bhaji. I'm told that's a popular dish here. Namaskara. Hegidira? You're Mr Shetty?
I'm Darren Shetty. My brother is looking after that.
Okay.
I'll call him.
Very nice. Thank you.
This is very old hotel, 1958.
1958. So who began this eatery?
My dad.
Your father?
Yeah, it is way back in 1958.
1958. And what was his name, sir?
Vasudev.
Mr Vasudev Shetty.
Yeah. This is my brother.
Namaskara. Namaskara. Where is your family originally from?
Mangalore.
Oh, from Mangalore.
Yeah.
There you go. Once again, Mangalore's contribution to this country's culinary landscape. I always keep telling this. If people from Mangalore hadn't taken food to other parts of this country, I think the culinary landscape of this country would have been greatly deprived. Ella kade.
Yeah, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ even worldwide we have
Worldwide idare, Mangalore.
Mangalore.
I think Mangaloreans know their food.
Yes.
They know their food and they know how to serve it well.
Yeah.
So you are the second generation.
Yeah. Third generation is here, my daughter.
Namaskara. How are you doing? I'm doing well. So you're the third generation of Gurudatta Bhavan.
Yes. My father is the founder, Vasudev Shetty.
Mr Vasudev Shetty.
founder.
So he came from Mangalore and he came here and he set this up. Same location, sir?
Same service.
And what is very popular here?
Everything. Morning tiffin also. Idli, vada, shira, puri.
I have also heard that the puri kurma here is popular.
Yeah. That is the morning this is.
That is the morning.
Yeah. Idli, vada and puri kurma. Yeah.
Idli vada puri kurma. So I think I already know what I'm going to be tasting. Can I take a look inside, see what's happening?
Please come.
Well, people seem to be enjoying their breakfast. I can see some bonda there. Oh, this is a big kitchen.
Yeah.
The puris are flying into that kadai of oil there and they are flying out equally fast.
We prepare in a different type of recipe. Most of the people, what they do, only prepare by out of maida only. But we are adding rava, ಗೋಧಿ ಹಿಟ್ಟು, ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಉಪ್ಪು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಯಿಲ್.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಯಿಲ್
ಹಾಕಿ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಬೀಟ್
ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಪುರಿ ಕುರ್ಮಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರು?
ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕುರ್ಮಾ ವಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್.
ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ?
ಸ್ಪ್ರೌಟೆಡ್ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಕಾಳು ಸ್ಪ್ರೌಟೆಡ್.
ಮಡಿಕೆ ಕಾಳು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಾತ್ ಬೀನ್ಸ್.
ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಾಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಾರ್. ಖಾರ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಸಿಹಿನೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೇಸ್ಟಿ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಸಲ್ ಸಹ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಕಾಳು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಬೇರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು
ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಡಿಶ್. ಈ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಪೂರಿ ಸಾಗು ಇಡ್ಲಿ ವಡೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್.
ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್, ಉಪ್ಮಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ,
ಪೋಹ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ensure that the puri goes piping hot from the kitchen to the customer. Fantastic. So there's like a puri factory, puri assembly line ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ?
Only 10 to 1 o'clock we serve more than 200 plates every day.
200 plates.
Every day.
Each plate ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಪುರಿ. So at least 600 puris every day. Weekend ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಹುಶಃ.
Up to 300 plates.
Up to 300 plates even. So about 1000 puris a day. I love the way they're making the puris here. He's very quickly making the vade. This lady here is flattening it out. And this gentleman, as soon as it comes out, he puts it into that oil and that puri is ready. Again, sir.
That's palav.
Oh, that's a colorful pulav. ಏನಿದೆ ಮಸಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ?
Vegetables ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು. Vegetable ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ.
That's the onion masala. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಟ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
ಬೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ.
ಇದು ಏನು ಬರೀ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಬಟರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಫ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಡೀಪ್ ಫ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಟನ್ ಪೀಸ್ ತರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ.
ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್. ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಸೆ ಅದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಸಾಲೆ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಟನ್ ಪೀಸ್ ತರ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಇದೇನು ಉದ್ದಿನ ವಡೆಗೆ?
ಉದ್ದಿನ ವಡೆಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಕೊಬ್ಬರಿ, ಹಸಿಮೆಣಸು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕರಿಬೇವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು.
ಕರಿಬೇವು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಫ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಗರಿಗೆ? ಡಬಲ್ ಫ್ರೈ.
ಹೌದು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಟೀ ಕಾಫಿ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀ ಕಾಫಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಂಬಾರ್ ಬಾಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ.
ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ದು ಚಟ್ನಿ ಏನು ಕಾಯಿ ಚಟ್ನಿಯಾ?
ಕಾಯಿ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪುಟಾಣಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ, ಹುಣಸೆ ಹಣ್ಣು, ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ. There's a flurry of activity in the kitchen here at Gurudatta Bhavan, doing their best to feed all the denizens of Hubli. Every single table occupied. You know, it's nice to hear the sound of laughter in an eatery, because that tells you people are having a good time. People are truly in their natural best when the food is one that puts them in a happy mood. And I think that's the sound that I hear all around. I think the puri kurma is a must try. Everybody seems to be having one. Puri bada famous illi. Ellada plate alli puri ide. Puri kurma. One puri kurma kodi. Well, we have a puri and that is served with a kurma and some chutney. Plenty of ghee in that, and also the urugadle. The kurma here isn't your typical kurma. So this is a kurma that's made with the moth beans or the mudki, and then I think there's some potato in there as well. I love the aroma of the spices that I'm tasting in my palate, if you know what I mean, the garam masala. And then the flavors of that kurma, there is some sweet in that, there is some sour as well, and then also some warmth from the spices, perhaps from some of the chili, the byadgi mensankai that perhaps goes into it. Oh, that's a delicious kurma. Oh, I love it. Enough said, let's taste of the puri first. This is a puri that certainly has some strength. As I learned from Mr. Shetty, they use a combination of wheat, of maida, and also a bit of rice rava that goes into the making of this puri along with a bit of sugar. So I think that certainly gives this puri a certain mouthfulness and also a bit of heft in its structure. And it's definitely a hint of sweetness as you finish that puri. Enough said, let's dunk that puri in that kurma. Before I say anything about it, I want to go back for another bite. I love the flavors of that kurma. The puri serves as a trusty medium to convey that kurma to your mouth. And once placed in your mouth and drenched with all the flavors of that kurma, the puri is quite happy to simply dissolve away, leaving behind the flavor of that kurma. There's certain sweetness to that kurma, and it's not the kind of sweetness that's cloying. because that sweetness finds its counterpoint in the sour notes. Perhaps from some tamarind that goes into it. And the potatoes bring their starchy heft to that party of flavors. That's delicious. Hey, you know kurma sikboda. And this is a sprouted mock bean. Let's now taste some of that puri with a chutney. That chutney is more creamy in its character from the coconut and also some of the putani that's gone into it. It's a very gentle, calming sort of a chutney, quite in contrast to the vivacious character of that kurma. One katori done, second katori out. There's also a bit of that spicy oil that's floating to the top. In a manner of speaking, that reminds me of the cut or the curry that floats to the top of a missile. So I think that conveys the warmth that comes from the chilies and also the warmth, the aromatic warmth that comes from the spices. The aromatic spices that would have gone to season the oil as this kurma was being made. You know, the puri, when you taste it on its own, is a sort that has a bit of a texture. Thanks to the combination of wheat, maida and the rice flour that they use with a bit of sugar that gives it that slightly sweet lilt. And the puri definitely makes its personality known. But when you combine it with that madke or the moth bean korma, that puri is quite happy to let the flavors of that korma shine. You know, that's a beautiful thing about food. Every item in this puri, korma, chutney assemblage has its purpose. The purpose of the puri is to have enough strength to convey this korma to your palate, thereby allowing you to savor its delicious sweet, sour and warming flavor tones. And that chutney, to quite simply cleanse your palate of some of the warmth. It also helps, in a manner of speaking, to reset your palate. Before you dive back to that moth bean korma, I think let's taste now the puri with the moth bean and also some of that chutney. That chutney almost has a calming effect on the robust flavors of that kurma. There's a table of 3 next to me and no points for guessing what they've ordered. The puri korma. I think if you come to Gurudatta Bhavan, don't leave without tasting this. Well, I didn't really think I was going to be ordering an idli vade. But then as I saw that vade being fried, I couldn't resist but think of ordering the vade. And in my books, a vade is lonely without the idli, and therefore I had to call for that idli too. And it is served with a sambar, plenty of greens in this sambar. This is a sambar that is Urtara, Mangalorean and its personality. You can taste the flavor of that masala, I think some flavor of the coriander, the flavor of the mustard seeds. There's also some khai, some coconut in there. And that lilt of sweetness. There's also perhaps a little more warmth in that sambar as what one would taste in a typical Mangalorean sambar. Is also perhaps an attempt to cater to the tastes here. So for instance, that korma that I ate, the addition of the madke kadu or the moth beans and also a bit of its warming spice, I think is a character of the sort of food that you find here. And I think that's a beautiful thing about food. So the Shettys may have migrated from Mangalore years ago, I think over half a century ago. They have brought in their food, but also I guess adapted it a bit to accommodate the flavors of this land. And this sambar, and more specifically that madke kadu korma, is a great example of that. There's also a bit of tartness that you taste in that idli. There's a bit of the texture, the coarse texture of the rice curry that goes into it. And this is perhaps an idli that is best savoured in the company of some chutney. That chutney that played a rather quiet role along with that puri korma is now beginning to assert its personality. The idli, of course, doesn't have much happening there. There's a bit of tartness, as I mentioned, and there's the texture of the rice rava. But that chutney, rich with the coconut and that putani, and a bit of spicing, perhaps from some green chili that goes into it, is quite happy to smother, to embrace the idli in its fold and lend it some of its flavors. The creamy crunch of that coconut and the putani. I think there's some ginger too that goes into it. It gives it a bit of a warmth. Let's taste now that idli with the sambar. I put a full piece in. This is what came out. I think I should enlist the assistance of the spoon. That idli, having disintegrated into the sambar, quite readily dissolves into tiny particles the moment you place it in your mouth. And again, some muted flavor tones of the idli. That sambar now rings a lot aggressive in its flavors. Whether it's that tinge of sweetness, a bit of tartness that perhaps comes from some tomato, and a bit of that warming spice. Time to say hello to the vade. This is a vade that feels crisp and crunchy. The moment you hold it in your hands, you can also see flecks of, I think there's some curry leaf in there. You can hear the gentle crackle of that vade as you break into it. I think that's a textbook vade. Crisp and crunchy on the outside, fluffy within, with a bite of the coconut that you taste somewhere in there. Some of the greens like the coriander, they give it that wonderful, fresh, herbaceous sort of flavor. What's endearing though is that biscuity crunch of this vade. Dunk my vade into the sambar. Let it sit there for a while. Allowing the sambar to seep into the porous texture of the vade. As I'm tasting more and more of the sambar, the earthy sweetness of the bella, of the jaggery, is certainly quite pronounced. And in the kitchen, I spotted this pail containing a red masala of sorts. This is that masala. So that's that flavorful masala that goes into it. So the Byadgi mensankai, coconut, and then the spices. Cinnamon is there, cardamom, star anise is there. I can taste that aromatic sweetness of star anise. Solpa sweet again agtira adralli. Jaggery agtira. This is the masala that makes that sambar special, and the bhaji as well. So they grind the coconut with the Byadgi mensankai and throw in a whole lot of aromatic spices. Soaps are there. There's also some fennel that I'm registering. As I am tasting that masala in my mouth, that masala is revealing itself to me. So along with the coriander, which I guess gives it that body, there's also the aromatic spices. The star anise for sure, the cloves, the cinnamon, and also some fennel, in addition to other things. Thank you very much, sir. Solpa upma. Solpa. Bari ondo idralli tanni. That vade is special, and that sambar too. Of course, there is a bit of the sweetness that comes from the bella. It has a bit of tartness too. But then what's interesting is the warmth. The warmth that comes from the Byadgi mensankai and also from some of the aromatic spices like the cardamom, the cloves, and the cinnamon. Well, I also have the upppittu that has found its way to my plate. Not on the plan again, but Mr. Shetty said I should probably taste some. So the upppittu tends to be more gutty than a khara bhat. Tomatoes, you see some lentils in there, some chilies there as well, plenty of the saswe that perhaps goes into the seasoning. That upppittu is slightly yellowish green in color. And I suspect that's because of the coriander, which is what I'm also tasting in terms of the flavor. Some onions in there. So that's a gentle yet flavorful upppittu. And cooked just to the point where the semolina takes on a silky, moist, textural tone. And then you bite into the soft, flavorful crunch of some of the onions, And you also taste the nuttiness of the sasve or the mustard seeds. Vegetable pulav, done Gurudatta Bhavan style. Well, this is a surprise addition to the menu that I had in my mind. I knew that I was going to be tasting the puri kurma when I came here to Gurudatta Bhavan. But when I was in the kitchen, I saw this being mixed. And what really sold me were these deep fried pieces of bread. And when I asked Mr. Shetty as to what is the purpose of that bread in that pulav, he says, the bread soft agate, ella masale absorb madutte, and it tastes like mutton. Needless to say, I knew this was a dish that I had to order. It's only one piece of that fried bread in every portion, so I think we'll preserve it. Let us savor first the pulao. So there's some carrots in there, some peas as well. I think these are the dried peas, if I'm not mistaken, and some masala, some beetroot there. I think I'm going to ditch the spoon and go with my fingers. You know, the first mouthful was with the spoon, but I think when you touch the food, that food speaks to you even before you place it in your mouth. I can feel the warmth of that pulao, and that warmth creates in my palate a certain anticipation of the taste that is to follow. I love the aromatic, spicy tones of that pulao. I can taste a sweet aroma of some of the spices on the tip of my tongue. That's the first thing that I'm tasting. You typically smell with your nose, but I can smell the aroma of the spices in my mouth. The aromas have engulfed my palate. There's a certain sweet lilt that comes perhaps from some star anise, from the fennel, and all that I'm tasting. And then there's a browned onion paste. So I think the first thing that goes into the kadai is some oil, and then they roast the onions with it. They fry the onions with it, and that onion lends this dish a deep savory punch. Even the vegetables, whether it's a carrot, whether it is the bean, have softened, having absorbed that masala completely. So even in the vegetable, you're tasting the flavorful punch of that masala and the aromatic ingredients. I think let's now get to that piece of bread. There's a certain sweetness that I'm tasting and a certain strength that comes from the bread too. Not exactly that piece of meat that I was hoping to bite into, but I think it adds a bit of texture and provides a bit of relief if ever you should be seeking some from the flavors of this pulao. Some sort of pulses that have gone into this, and I think this is the crust of the bread that has moistened. I think I'm going to take some of it and mix it into my pulao. I think on its own it's a bit disparate, but I think when combined with the pulao, there certainly is a bit of a meaty, for want of a better word, bite to that piece of bread. Delicious. And as you come to the end of your meal, if you want some soothing relief, you have that raita with some chili, tomato, cucumber. There's some sugar in that raita. Don't you love it when you're just surprised by food? You are expecting to be tasting something, and then you place it in your mouth and you're tasting that and something else too. I think that's a beautiful thing about food. All that we need to do is be receptive to it. When you get that plate of food in front of you, appreciate it, enjoy it, giving it its due attention. Now I can relate to the state of happiness that I found customers in when I walked into Gurudatta Bhavan. This has been an enjoyable breakfast outing. I came here to taste only the puri bhaji and also the misal pav, but the misal pav is a dish that is served only in the evening. Perhaps we will return someday to taste the misal pav. And then we walked into the kitchen and saw some of the other preparations. So we ended up ordering not just the puri kurma, but also that idli vade, a tiny portion of that upppittu, and last but not the least, this delicious vegetable pulao. If you find yourself in Hubli, definitely make it a point to breakfast at Gurudatta Bhavan, an establishment that's been serving the people of this city since the 50s. I've been here for the last 45 minutes or so, and throughout that time, not a single table has been left vacant. That's the popularity, that is the appeal of the kind of food that you will find at Gurudatta Bhavan. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Gourmet on the Road. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, and happy eating. If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page. You could pledge a nominal sum and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As, and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. Happy eating!